Top 10 Famous Paintings with Hidden Codes Part 1. Photo 1. Mona Lisa, the Raphael hidden code in her eyes. Intrigue is usually focused on her enigmatic smile. However, when viewed under a microscope, historians in Italy have discovered that by magnifying the eyes of the Mona Lisa tiny numbers and letters can be seen. Experts say the barely distinguishable letters and numbers represent something of a real-life Da Vinci code. In the right eye appear to be the letters LV, which could well stand for his name, Leonardo da Vinci, while in the left eye there are also symbols, but they are not as defined. Of course, it's very difficult to make them out clearly, but they appear to be the letters CE, or it could be the letter B in the arch of the bridge in the background. The number 72 can be seen, or it could be an L and the number 2. Also, the number 149, with the fourth number erased, appears behind the picture, which suggests that Da Vinci painted it when he was in Milan in the 1490s. You have to remember that the picture is almost 500 years old, so it is not as sharp and clear as when it was originally painted. Photo 2. The Last Supper, the mathematical and astrological puzzle, plus a secret musical score. The Last Supper has also been the target of much speculation, usually centered around supposed hidden messages or hints found within the painting. Flavisa Persci, an information technologist, created an interesting visual effect by overlaying the semi-transparent, mirrored version of the painting on top of the original. The result is that two figures that look like Templar knights appear at both ends of the table, while someone who is possibly holding an infant stands to Jesus' left. Giovanni Maria Paula, an Italian musician, has also indicated that the positions of hands and loaves of bread can be interpreted as notes on a musical staff, and if read from right to left, as was characteristic of Leonardo's writing, they form a musical composition. Sabrina Sforza-Galizia, a Vatican researcher, claimed to have deciphered the mathematical and astrological puzzle in Leonardo's The Last Supper. She said that he foresaw the end of the world in a universal flood which would begin on March 21, 4006 and end on November 1 that same year. She believed that this would mark a new start for humanity. Photo 3. The Creation of Adam, the Floating Brain Divinity. Michelangelo's The Creation of Adam has endured not only as the most famous of the Sistine Chapel panels, but also as one of the single most iconic images of humanity. Michelangelo is recognized as one of the greatest painters and sculptors from the Italian Renaissance. What is not so widely known is that he was an avid student of anatomy who, at the age of 17, began dissecting corpses from the church graveyard. Now, the pair of American experts in neuroanatomy believe that Michelangelo did leave some anatomical illustrations behind in one of his most famous works, the Sistine Chapel. While some might dismiss this as a coincidence, experts suggest that it would be harder to explain that this was not Michelangelo's intention. Even complex components within the brain, such as the cerebellum, optic chiasm, and pituitary gland, can all be found in the picture. As for that sassy green sash running down the pons/spinal column/dude who is holding God up, it follows the path of the vertebral artery perfectly. Photo 4. Sistine Chapel, another human brain seen from below. Similar to the masterpiece The Creation of Adam, experts argue that the Sistine Chapel panels feature another figure of God with a hidden code. They noticed that God's throat and chest had anatomical irregularities, which were not present in any other figure in the fresco. Also, while the figures are illuminated diagonally from the lower left, God's neck is illuminated straight on. They concluded that what looks like clumsiness must have been deliberate work by the genius. By superimposing God's odd-looking neck on the photograph of a human brain seen from below, they showed how the two matched precisely. They added that a strange roll of fabric that extends up the center of God's robe could represent the human spinal cord. The lumpy neck in the God figure A of the panel matches a photograph of the human brain when seen from below B, while C shows the various parts of the brain apparently hidden in the painting. Nevertheless, Michelangelo also depicted other anatomical features elsewhere in the ceiling according to scholars, notably the kidney, which was familiar to Michelangelo and was of special interest to him as he suffered from kidney stones. Photo 5. The Madonna with Saint Giovannino, Sightings of UFOs. In addition to getting our attention with a rock-hard baby Jesus ABS, Domenico Ghirlandaio's Madonna with Saint Giovannino also features an interesting little blob hovering in the sky over Mary's left shoulder. Above Mary's left shoulder we observe a disc-shaped object that appears to be shining. It is an object which the artist depicted in huge detail, making sure it would stand out in his work of art. To the right of the painting we can see a man who is holding his right arm above his eyes, signifying that this object was extremely bright, while in the upper left-hand corner we can see an object that looks like the sun. Domenico Ghirlandaio's Madonna with Saint Giovannino is just one of numerous medieval paintings depicting bizarre, disturbing unidentified flying objects soaring around. Watch next part 2.